There's two things that I would like to talk about: the work in the Firebird. I would like to talk about the storm clouds because that was for me a very interesting thing to do. In Balanchine only uses the Stravinsky Firebird suite, which of course is shorter than the full Stravinsky Firebird. And I don't hear in the music, and I'm very responsive to music, the sound of the storm clouds. But Lourdes said, "Oh, look, the princess," she points up and basically is saying, "Hey, storm clouds, bad news coming." Because she, of course, had worked with Mr. Balanchine, and he had given that note that the storm clouds are coming. But it's like, and then actually I realized that it's exactly in that moment that in the full Firebird that the storm does arrive. So musically, it's correct in the longer piece of music, but in the suite, it's actually not musically there. But the genius that he is, what it does is it gives you a chance to take all the lights out and to sort of set up a little bit of a scarier atmosphere, because the next thing that happens is that the monsters jump in. So that was a little bit of Balanchine genius. And if you listen to the whole piece of music, you'll hear it. It comes exactly in that moment. The other thing I'd like to share about the work in the Firebird that was particularly exciting to me was when we originally talked about how we would tell the story of the Firebird. I remember saying to Lourdes, I'm always confused about the knights that come in at the end, just before the finale. The demons have been vanquished and princesses come in from one side, the knights come in from another, they're down in one and they're sort of marching towards each other, and it's like, I've never seen these guys before. And for me, I'm just a storytelling nudge. I just need to connect the dots. And so it came that, oh, right, they had been captured. But in the Balanchine production, you can't really see where they are. So having done a bunch of study, and also from my having done the Ratmansky Firebird and trying it also in that instance. It's not so easy to take dancers and capture them, and have them glued to the walls for 25 minutes. So it seemed that the best thing to do would be to indicate these knights having been captured in trees. So they are stitched into the scenic legs, these bodies of these knights. And Anya Klepikov was very thoughtful, and we did a lot of research into Russian fairy tales and what this might look like. There's a whole genre of sculpture, of people kind of carving people into a tree so that they look like they're emerging from the tree. So that then we decided that we would have this sense of that. And so during that music, when that scrim comes in, which is basically so that the scene can be changed and that we can arrive at the glorious finale, as that scrim was coming in, that I would try to create some idea of these knights actually being freed. So that's what that imagery is. And we took photographs of a dancer dressed in the night costume, trying to do it in a way that's more subtle than, full-on Disney animation, which I always find a distraction to the music and also conflicts with live dancers. I think it works pretty well. I'll be happy to hear what other people have to say about it, but that's just me trying to connect the story dots. Working on the Firebird was one of the most satisfying experiences I've had in a 40-year career. Most of that has to do with the genius of Lourdes Lopez and the delights of working with her and the company. She's just so smart. And she lets artists find the work. And that is such a gift to an artist, to just say, okay, you go and you find it. And she was incredibly encouraging, and the wisdom that she shared with us was really valuable for me and Anya to try to discover what is the texture, how do we find this, the design of this in the music and in the story that honors Balanchine, that honors Russia and Russian fairy tales. You need to have an open door to do that. And that's the way it is to work at Miami City Ballet. Lourdes is able to get genius because she allows for genius and she respects genius. And so it just flowers under her tutelage. And I see the same thing in the dancers. I see the joy and the exactitude of their work. I work in a lot of ballet companies, and I find the most pleasure that I have is actually working at Miami City Ballet. I love the family there.